The oceans make up about 70% of the Earth's surface area, 361,132,000 sq km. The deep sea layer is the lowest layer in the ocean, existing below the thermocline and above the seabed at a depth of 1,000 fathoms 1,800 meters or more. Little or no light penetrates this part of the ocean, and most of the organisms that live there rely for subsistence on falling organic matter produced in the photic zone. For this reason, scientists once assumed that life would be sparse in the deep ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean in the world. It extends from the North Arctic Ocean to the South Sea, or by definition Antarctica, in the south, bordering the continents of Western Asia and Australia, and the eastern United States. This largest division of the world ocean and, in turn, the hydrosphere covers about 46% of Earth's water surface and about 32% of its total surface area, making it larger than all of Earth's land area combined. The centers of both the water hemisphere and the western hemisphere are in the Pacific Ocean. Ocean circulation caused by the Coriolis effect subdivides it into two largely independent volumes of water, which meet at the equator. The NORTH Pacific Ocean and SOUTH Pacific Ocean. The deep sea is one of the most unexplored areas on Earth. Even mesopelagic pressure is mounting on traditional exploration methods, demanding alternative approaches to deep sea research. The three methods used to explore the depths of the ocean are battered camera stations, small human submersibles, and ROVs, remotely operated vehicles. Current knowledge is limited due to the difficulty and cost of exploring this area. The pressure increases in about 1 atmosphere every 10 meters, which means that some areas of the deep sea are under pressure of more than 1,000 atmospheres. Not only does it reach great depths without mechanical assistance, but it also presents considerable difficulty in trying to study any organisms that inhabit these areas, because their cell chemistry can adapt to such broad pressures. Deep sea fish are fish that live in the darkness below the sunlit surface waters, that is below the epipelagic or photic zone of the sea. The lanternfish is, by far, the most common deep sea fish. Other deep sea fishes include the flashlight fish, cookiecutter shark, bristlemouths, anglerfish, viperfish, and some species of eelpout. The mesopelagic zone is the dysphotic zone, meaning light there is minimal but still measurable. The oxygen minimum layer exists somewhere between a depth of 700 meters and 1,000 meters deep, depending on the place in the ocean. This area is also where nutrients are most abundant. The bathypelagic and abyssopelagic zones are aphotic, meaning that no light penetrates this area of the ocean. Deep seawater is the name given to the cold salt water that appears below the surface of the Earth's oceans. Seawater varies in temperature and salt water. Surface water is generally warmer than cold deep or polar waters in the polar regions, and the upper layers of ocean water are cooler and cleaner. 90% of the volume of the oceans is deep seawater. Deep seawater has a temperature of 0 to 3 degrees Celsius and 3.5% salt water, according to oceanographers at 35 ppm. In specialized locations such as the Natural Energy Laboratory of Hawaii, Nelha ocean water is pumped to the surface from approximately 900 meters, 3,000 feet deep for applications in research, commercial and pre-commercial activities. DAO is typically used to describe ocean water at subthermal depths. The nephroloid zone is a layer of water above sea level in the deep sea basin that contains considerable amounts of suspended debris. It is 200 to 1,000 meters thick. The name comes from the Greek nepos, cloud. Particles in the layer can be removed from the upper ocean layers and debris from sea level by electric currents. Its thickness depends on the velocity of the current below, which is the result of the equilibrium between the gravitational stability of the particles and the turbulence of the electric current. Methods of formation of nephloid layers may vary, but primarily depend on deep ocean convection. The term deep sea animal refers to the creatures that live below the photozone of the ocean. These creatures have to survive in harsh conditions such as hundreds of pressures, small amounts of oxygen, very little food, no sunlight, and constant, severe cold. Most organisms rely on food flowing from the top down. These creatures live in much-needed environments, such as the abyssalar huddle zones, thousands of meters below the surface, almost completely without light. The water temperature is between 3 and 10 degrees Celsius, and the oxygen level is low. Due to the depth, the pressure is between 20 and 1,000 bar. creatures that live hundreds or thousands of meters deep in the ocean. These animals have to survive the extreme pressure of the subphotic zones. The pressure increases by about 1 bar every 10 meters. To cope with the pressure, many fish are rather small. These creatures have also eliminated all excess cavities that would collapse under the pressure, such as swim bladders. Humans have only explored less than 4% of sea level and finds dozens of new deep-sea creatures on every dive. The DSV Alvin, a submarine owned by the U.S. Navy and owned by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution in Woods Hole, Massachusetts, is an example of a deep-sea exploration vessel. At 16 tons long, this submarine can withstand extreme pressure and can easily handle weight and size. The extreme difference in pressure between sea level and surface makes it impossible for an organism to survive on the surface. This makes in-depth research difficult because more useful information can only be found while the works are alive. Recent developments have allowed scientists to look more closely at these works for a longer period of time. Jeffrey Drayson, a marine biologist, found a solution to a fish trap under pressure. It captures a deep aquatic organism and slowly adjusts its internal pressure to the surface, bringing the work to the surface in the hope that the work can be adjusted. Please subscribe our channel and click the bell icon.